Hey everyone, Neen here from the Hyperactive Bookworm, here to do the April bookshelf wrap up. April? We're in May now. Oh my god, I don't even know how this year is going. It's crazy fast and crazy slow, all rolled up into one. But yes, it is April. So I'm here to do the April bookshelf wrap up. So I did 10 books this month, which was very impressive because the start of the month was really intense. I've also had a sick kiddo, and everything has just been a little bit crazy. I did actually read in paperback form one book, but it was a reread comfort read. I did a review of that, and that was Shattered. I did also manage to purchase a book that I actually listened to, but I have that pretty book now, even if I haven't actually gone back through it and started to dissect and bend it and color it all in all pretty. So let me go through with the 10 books to give a quick wrap up on my books for the month. All right, so the first one I read is actually the one I listened to and I got the paperback of, and that is Leviathan by Eric Schubach. I think that's how you say it. I am absolutely smitten with these books. This one. I do want to read more of them because there's so much there, but holy crap, there is so much in this. The expressions, it's sci-fi, futuristic, but there are also fairies and the fae and sprites, and it's like fantasy sci-fi mix, and it's delicious and wonderful. The main character is absolutely brilliant. I absolutely love her, Nith. She's great. There's just so many things in this book that made me chuckle. Um, One of them was all the references of 80s music. Most of the chapters, actually, perhaps all of them, are actually lyrics or titles from 80s and maybe 90s as well, music, and I just absolutely adored it. I loved the expressions. I now can't remember the exact expression that made me laugh every single time, but of course I'm going to go through and highlight and rip it all apart and dissect it. I also loved that they're traveling on a ship, basically. Old Earth is gone and they're traveling on this planet, sort of this world of theirs, but it's a ship and it's traveling to a new Earth, basically, which is going to take generations upon generations. It's already taken quite a few, and it is amazing. But this cover is what originally got me all. It's all. Can you see it? Yeah, got me all excited about it, and it's so well written and so fun that I am really looking forward to reading more of them. Just haven't gotten my head back into it all. All right, now the next one I read was Departure from the Scripts by Jay. I actually read this one and the second one, which was Damage Control. I love these both. These are part of Jay's Hollywood series. So the first one, I love the family connection between the main character and her grandma and the other character who is a photographer. I love her relationship that she talks about with her grandfather as well. The connections between the two are delicious. The fact that, yes, slight spoiler, but I cracked up laughing when they actually both have the same ex, which I thought was absolutely giggle worthy. Now, the second one, Damage Control, was also a delightful, delightful book. I love these Hollywood series from Jay because, I don't know, some Hollywood series I've read, they're a bit too, I don't know, glitz and glamour town, which is probably what people like. But I don't know, these ones have kind of just hit me a little more. It's more about the people, not about the professions. Even though Damage Control is about an actress who they have a whole lot of rumors going around in the media about them being gay, and they're like, no, 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 I'm straight. And of course, she's straight until she's not. They're both delicious reads. I highly recommend them. I think there's some more in the series that I have yet to read, so I'm looking forward to them. As always, Jay's writing is just absolutely fabulous and fantastic and beautiful. The depth she has into human nature is so delicious. No matter what setting you put it in, I fall in love with her characters, and both of these books, like, no exception to that, I totally fell in love with these characters. All right, the next one I read was Tumble Down by Kari Hunter. Yes, I adore this woman. Tumble Down, it's a brilliant sapphic crime and mystery story. There's action and brutality thrown in, and it's just balanced so well with the humor and the down moments that let you breathe, just to charge you back up again and be like, oh my gosh. It's the sequel to Desolation Point, and I just kept going, why would you do this? Why would you do this to Sarah and Alex? You've put them through so much already. But it's so brilliantly a carry on from that book, because that book has influenced this one and what actually happens to them. And I just, it makes sense that they're in the crosshairs of a psycho again, and that I loved and adored. Like, it wasn't, my God, Jessica Fletcher sort of, how are you always finding these murders? No, it was just brilliant. And of course, I stayed up again till stupid o'clock reading this, because as soon as I start a Kari Hunter, I basically get through them in one day. The next one was my comfort read, my reread. I finally did a video of this book. I'll put the link down below. Shattered by Lee Winter. This seriously is my favorite sapphic go-to. It's a comfy blankie. It's worn in like a comfy blankie. And I love it and adore it. And superheroes, come on, superheroine, gay, black superheroine, alien on Earth, and another Kari Hunter. But this one was Alias, and oh my God, it just starts with bam, and you just go, what the fuck? And so basically the character wakes up and has no memory, and we discover along with her, and that is just brilliant. I love just, it's just so amazing. Like, it keeps unfolding, and you think you get a handle on it, and you kind of don't, and you actually don't know whether this main character is reliable or not, and you don't find out until the end whether they are or not. There is a small love interest in there, and it's so organic and just a second aspect to the main story, and I love that. Again, I listened to this one, and Nicola Victoria Vincent is such an amazing narrator. I believe she's done all of Kari Hunter's books, and they're just fabulous, a fabulous duo. The book I read was Sunshine by L.T. Emery. This was amazing. So it's a dystopian future world. There's disease around and such a thick fog of pollution that people have lived and died having never seen sunshine. So Kyra, I don't know if that's how you're actually supposed to pronounce her name, maybe Cyra, Cyra. For me, it's Kyra. She goes in search of sunshine. She is amazing and intelligent and trying to fight her way through this world. She is innately skilled with technology, and it is amazing following her through her discovery, not to just have sunshine for herself, but to find sunshine for everyone. And it's a hero's journey in this dystopian sort of world, and it is grisly and gore-filled, and it's wonderful. The nasty descriptions are kind of the perils and dangers are sort of balanced with this amazing humor, with great lines and insults that seriously made me laugh out loud. It was a great read. I loved it. I definitely cannot wait to see what else L.T. Emery is going to get out there. Sunshine was such a great taste. I highly recommend going and having a look. All right, now the next book I read, let me have a look. Okay, the next book I read was No Strings by Lucy Bexley. I wish I had not read all the hype about this book, because I think I expected too much, because so many people have talked so well about it. In saying that, I loved this book. Even with that extra hype, I still enjoyed it. And I think as time's gone on and I've thought more about it, because it's one of those books that just sticks in your brain. I think about these characters and they make me giggle weeks after I've read this book. And I love that. Lucy Bexley's writing is fantastic. Her characters are just so wonderful. Elsie, the main character, is this quirky, delicious, crazy, wonderful character who is a puppeteer who created Fangly, and works on the show Fangly Heights. And she's wonderful and crazy and out there. And I love that. I also love that the other main character gets to see her, and she actually has these internal thoughts about the prejudices toward Elsie because she is childish or too eccentric and she's not a grown up and all these things. But the reality is, she is a grown up. She's just decided to enjoy her adulthood without letting go of these things that really make her happy and stay fun and enjoying life. And I love that so much. I also, huge shout outs to Avery. Avery is my absolute favorite character. Avery is Elsie's best mate and flatmate, and they are just fantastic. I love their interactions with Elsie, and just the banter between them is spot on. I also adore Benz, who is a kid that Elsie just ends up bonding so beautifully with, and their relationship just absolutely has my heart. Absolutely has my heart. And this is just so wonderful. I also love how Lucy Bexley includes mental health in her books. So this is my second Lucy Bexley book, and I really enjoyed it. And I love the dynamic that the story is not about the mental health. The story is about a human who has mental health issues. And I love that, yes, it shows the reality of how consuming and destructive at times mental health issues can be. It also shows that there is a person behind that. They are not just their mental health issue. And I think that's definitely a theme I'd love to see more of in books, where it's not brushed over as if it's nothing, but it also shows that these people are people. They're not just their problems. They are well rounded. They are amazing. They are incredible. And you may never know what they deal with behind closed doors, because they can still function perfectly in their high points. And I think it's such a great book to show these things, that we have not had a lot of good representation of these. And I kudos to Lucy Bexley. I love her writing, and I love these themes that she brings in. All right, Chasing Dreams by A.L. Brooks. Wow, it's so delicious and sweet. I can't actually believe that this is only the second A.L. Brooks book I've read, because I loved the first book of hers I've read, and this one has absolutely blown me out of the water. It is wonderful and sweet, and takes tropes and sort of twists them while still keeping them together. It's so just absolutely wholesome and wonderful and grown up. um in a way that I love all the characters being represented, being shown, and there really is a different dynamic between, you know, the ages of the characters, and it's delicious and delightful. Some of the absolute top things about this book that I love: amazing, seamless, and sexy as hell, realistic, safe sex scenes. Like, I have heard, because you know me, I rave about those that I love. I rave about the books that I love, and I have discussed this with other people, and it's something apparently that A.L. Brooks does a bit, and I can't wait to read more books of hers. This is just for one of the many reasons that it's just this whole idea that lesbians don't need safe sex is dangerous and disturbing, and it's an absolute myth that needs to be put to bed. Absolutely put to bed. I love the mature characters, like I've said, but I love that they're open and honest. They don't just rush in to the relationship. They think about it. They bring their scars and their issues and they discuss them openly, like grown-ups. I know, mesmerizing concept, isn't it? I love all of the characters. They are unique individuals, the side characters just as much as the main characters. Huge shout out to Shannon and Katie. I love these characters. They're basically the main characters' best friends, really. And they're just fabulous. They're fantastic. And they bring so much more dynamic, not just to our characters, but to the story as a whole, to the open acceptingness of our characters and the story. They're just amazing. The writing is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the descriptions. I love the internal turmoils that both of these characters go through. It broke my heart in all the right ways. And I loved that there was no perfect character or a bad character that had to, come around. They both had the good qualities and the bad qualities. They both were completely human, and you didn't really want to root for, one of them to be changing. You just, well, for me, I just loved seeing them grow and develop and learn to embrace the pivots in their world and realize their own internal strength as much as just everything else. And holy crap, the safe sex scenes, oh my god, they were amazing. The sex scenes in this book are just absolutely delicious. And oh my god, go read it. Just go read it. Absolutely, because it is the best book. For anyone who is in the Sapphic Fiction Book Club over on Facebook, Chasing Dreams is actually the book for May. Oh my god, the months for May. So if you want to have more discussions about this book or read along to the things, jump on over there. All right, so the last book I read was Breathless by Lianyu Tan. I'm so sorry, I've probably absolutely massacred that name, but it's a short story, an FF dark romance short story. And I believe it's set in between Lianu's novel Captive in the Underworld. So I absolutely love messing around with myths and ancient gods and twisting them up and making them sapphic. So I've been wanting to read Captive in the Underworld. However, I'm very hesitant about reading dark romance. I love my other dark genres. I love my dark fantasy, my dark horror. I wasn't sure if dark romance would really be for me. When I found this short story, I was like, perfect. I can, kind of get a taste of it, see if it's sort of something I would like to read. I loved reading this book. I have discovered that dark romance I don't think is a genre for me, which is fine because not everyone can love every genre. But the writing for this was delicious. It was beautiful. It was captivating. It made me keep reading, and it was a great story. So if dark romance is your cup of tea, I highly recommend giving this a go. And I think that if you do like Breathless, I think it would be worth taking a look of Captive in the Underworld, because I think it would be a great story. Just not my cup of tea. So that's cool, but I'm really glad I got to read this short story. All right, so that's my wrap up for April. Let me know if you've read them, if you like the idea of them. I was really happy with the books I read. I know it wasn't as many as I should have read this month if I'm going by my reading goals, but this happens, heavier months and lighter months, and I can't wait to see what May has to bring. Thanks, y'all.